It's time for today's Business Matters, and it looks like employment seekers have plenty of options. That's because the jobs report was released today, and it added 147,000 jobs in the economy for the month of June. This is according to the latest data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. It's higher than many economists had forecast, and it's a slight bump from the 144,000 gained during the month of May. The national unemployment rate in June also fell 0.1% to 4.1%. Meanwhile, leaders from 5 African nations have been invited to Washington, D.C. next week to discuss commercial opportunities. A White House official says President Trump will host leaders from Gabon, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Mauritania, and Senegal. This comes as the Trump administration has axed significant amounts of aid to Africa as part of its spending cuts. Instead, the administration says it wants to focus on trade and investment to drive mutual prosperity. A $4 million settlement reached over unauthorized shipments to China's Huawei Technologies. The Commerce Department says Alpha and Omega Semiconductor violated export regulations by sending hundreds of accessories to Huawei in 2019. That's the year the Chinese company was added to a restricted U.S. trade list known as the Entities List. AOS said the resolution does not impact ongoing operations and is pleased to close the matter with limited administrative export control changes. France has fined Chinese retailer Shein over $47 million for alleged deceptive business practices. That's according to its antitrust regulator after a year-long probe. Here's more.
It said on Thursday that the company handling Shein's sales had misled customers about discounts, and that this company, named Infinite Style E-Commerce, or ISEL, had accepted the fine. French regulation says any discount must be based on the lowest price offered in the last 30 days. But the agency said the e-commerce platform infringed this rule by failing to take into account previous offers and even hiked prices before applying a discount. It said the probe found the company, quote, deceived consumers about the authenticity of discounts they could benefit from. It looked at thousands of products on Shein's French site from October 2022 to August 2023. It found 57% of advertised deals weren't actually offering a lower price. 19% had less of a discount than they claimed, and 11% were in fact price hikes. In a statement, Shein said the antitrust agency had informed ISEL of reference price and environmental regulations breaches in March last year, and that all identified issues were addressed.
And Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba says President Trump's views on some tariff-related issues in Japan might not be accurate. A pause on 24% reciprocal tariffs on imports from Japan expires next week. Ishiba on public broadcaster NHK responded to Trump's comments that no U.S. cars are running in Japan and that Japan doesn't purchase U.S. rice. He said the views could be based on a misunderstanding or misinformation. But Ishiba said, without going into specifics, that tariff negotiations with the United States are making steady progress. The new South Park season has been pushed back from July 9th amid a pending merger between Paramount Global and Skydance Media. The show's creators are not happy about it. They took to social media to slam Paramount, the parent company of the series' home network Comedy Central. In their statement, they blamed Paramount for disrupting new episodes. Variety reports that Paramount is dealing with an investor lawsuit that aims to block the deal in favor of competing offer. The Paramount Skydance deal still needs approval from the Federal Communications Commission. Fans have waited 2 years now for a new season. The 27th season is now slated to air on Comedy Central July 23rd. A TV network created by talk show host Dr. Phil files for bankruptcy and sues its media partner. Merit Street Media is accusing Trinity Broadcasting Network of breaching its contract. Here's more.
After less than 2 years on the air, Dr. Phil McGraw's TV network is fading to black. When the TV personality launched Merit Street Media, he said he wanted it to be a destination network. Merit's programming included an interview with then-presidential candidate Donald Trump and Dr. Phil on ICE operations in Chicago and Los Angeles. Now Merit has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. At the same time, it's suing its partner Trinity Broadcasting Network, which is best known for its Christian programming. Merit is accusing Trinity of breach of contract in the joint venture. A Merit spokesperson explained that Trinity did not provide national distribution or fulfill other commitments that were critical to the network's continued success and viability. Merit is also claiming Trinity abused its position as controlling shareholder and forced Merit to pay or incur obligations north of $100 million to third parties. Merit Street is now seeking damages and attorney's fees. Trinity has not responded to a request for comment.
The heads of Universal Music Group's Virgin Music Group are calling their critics off-key. Right now, the European Commission is reviewing a $775 million deal for Virgin Music to acquire Downtown Music. Critics charge this will further entrench Universal's position in European music markets and strengthen its control over access for independent labels. But the company's co-CEOs are pushing back. They say Downtown's businesses, including Curve Royalties and CD Baby, won't be restricted or shut down. They also reject suggestions that Downtown's customer base would be exploited to give Universal a competitive edge. Ferrari has won back the rights to its iconic Testarossa brand that was made famous by the 1980s TV show Miami Vice. The European Union's General Court said the luxury sports car maker was wrongfully stripped of the rights in 2023. That's when the EU's Intellectual Property Office revoked Ferrari's rights. It said because Ferrari did not put it to genuine use for 5 years. This was in response to a challenge brought forward by a German toy maker. The new ruling voids that decision. Delivery giant UPS said it will offer voluntary buyouts to its full-time U.S. drivers. It's part of the largest network reconfiguration in its history. A sweeping overhaul that includes cutting 20,000 jobs and closing 73 facilities. In April, the company announced a reconfiguration plan. It follows a reduction in deliveries for its key customer, Amazon, and amid U.S. tariff negotiations. The buyout package is in addition to any retirement benefits, such as pension and health care. The Teamsters Union represents about 330,000 UPS workers. It was first to announce the buyout plans, calling them an illegal violation of the national contract. UPS said it intends to adhere to the terms of its contract with the union. If your flight still hasn't departed yet, this could be the reason why. More than 1,500 flights have been canceled July 3rd and 4th, affecting nearly 300,000 passengers. It's due to a strike by a French air traffic controller. European industry lobby Airlines for Europe said it strongly condemns the French air controller traffic strike. The group said tens of thousands of travelers in France and across Europe have seen their summer getaway grounded as French air traffic controllers walk out during one of the busiest periods for summer travel, known as the Grand Depart. And JetBlue and United Airlines on Thursday asked the Transportation Department to reject a complaint filed by Spirit Airlines over their proposed partnership. United and JetBlue said in May their Blue Sky collaboration would allow travelers to book flights on both carriers' websites, where interchangeability earning and using points in their frequent flyer programs. Budget carrier Spirit said last month the deal would mean the smaller JetBlue will become a de facto vassal of United. United and JetBlue rejected the complaint, calling it a fiction and adding, quote, Blue Sky will maintain JetBlue's independence and enhance its competitiveness, ensuring that JetBlue can continue to grow and compete as an independent carrier. Meanwhile, Brazilian plane maker Embraer said it delivered 61 aircraft in the second quarter of 2025. That's a 30% increase from a year earlier. The deliveries in the quarter through the end of June included 19 commercial jets, in line with the same quarter last year, and 38 executive jets, a 41% jump in the same time frame. The company said it also delivered 4 defense aircraft in that period, up from 1 delivery a year earlier. Simple Flying says Embraer is the world's 3rd largest aircraft manufacturer. Its aircraft are widespread in private flights and in regional commercial transportation. The Brazilian firm expects to deliver between 77 and 85 commercial planes and between 145 and 155 executive jets this year. This 4th of July weekend starts on Friday, giving friends and family a little extra time to get together. But that also means spending a little more money on celebrations, as prices for, compared to last year, fireworks prices are causing some worries. Food prices are holding steady, which is good news. Gas prices are down, is also good news. NTD Sean Marshall has more on this.
The 2025 4th of July approaches. This year's prices on holiday items are a bit better than last year, except for fireworks. Tariffs have caused some concerns for fireworks business owners, as most of the fireworks come from China. The American Pyrotechnics Association is calling on the Trump administration to exempt fireworks from the tariffs, which it did successfully in 2019 during Trump's first term. Julie Heckman, the association's executive director, said, quote, "It's not sustainable. We don't know what's going to happen at the end of the 90-day pause on July 9th. Are the tariffs going to go back up to triple digits? If that happens, we're going to see businesses close down. Fireworks for Christmas and New Year celebrations this year will likely be more expensive. Many importers have held their fireworks in China to wait out the higher tariffs, feeling there is no other option." On a lighter note, barbecue food prices are returning to normal after 5 years of pandemic-fueled inflation. A meal for 10 people with all the traditional July 4th offerings will cost $130, up 2.2% from last year, primarily due to the beef and egg inflation, according to a report from Wells Fargo. And gas prices are actually down this year. A record 61.6 million people are expected to travel by car this holiday weekend, according to AAA. Drivers will see the lowest 4th of July gas prices since the pandemic began. The average price for a gallon of gas heading into the holiday weekend was $3.17, according to AAA. That's 33 cents less than last year. Sean Marshall, NTD News.
Okay, on to markets. Wall Street surged to record highs today, and it's led by a rally in tech stocks and a stronger than expected U.S. jobs report. S&P 500 and Nasdaq closed at all-time highs, with the Dow also rising. Nvidia as well gained, nearing a $4 trillion market cap and potentially surpassing Apple as the world's most valuable company. And investors welcomed the job data, where optimism outweighed concerns about inflation and interest rates, especially among retail investors. So trading volumes was light today ahead of the 4th of July holiday. And that's it for today's Business Matters.